So do you like Denise Richards, Paul Walker, a T-Rex that comes to life and also has hands that can dial a phone? You're gonna like this movie. Let's talk about it. So, like I said, we're talking about Tammy and the T-Rex, or Tanny and the T-Rex, or Tanny and the Teenage T-Rex, because this movie's all over the place. In the credits, her name is Tanny. On here, it says Tammy. And then in the beginning of the movie, it says Tanny and the Teenage T-Rex. So, who knows with this movie? But if you haven't seen this, by God, go see this. This movie is insane. It's a so bad it's good. Like, you will laugh your ass off watching this movie. It's one of Paul Walker's first movies. I mean, the premise basically is just, he kind of gets killed, but kind of doesn't get killed. And a mad scientist takes his brain and puts his brain into a mechanical T-Rex. And somehow that T-Rex comes to life. And you get this movie. So, with that being said, kind of let's go a little bit more in depth. Of course, I had to get the 4K from Vinegar Syndrome. But either way, let's get into the story, because it's a pretty insane one. So it has Denise Richards, has Paul Walker, has a couple other random characters here and there. There's one that I'm going to be calling Billy. That's his actual character name. Honestly, I don't remember the character names for Paul Walker and Denise Richards, so we'll just use those names. It really doesn't matter. But Billy is an insane boyfriend, like completely obsessed with Denise Richards' character, loves her, but is also abusive and crazy. They get into a relationship, and they're out of that relationship by the time this movie starts. Paul Walker moves in, tries to put the moves on Denise Richards. That doesn't go as well because Billy is, again, like I said, just insane. So he wants to beat him up, he wants to kill him, and that's where you get a lot of the beginning tension from. It's definitely over the top. So in one scene, Billy and Paul Walker's character are fighting, physically fighting, and it just gets weird. I don't know who wrote the script and was like, yep, that's a good idea, but basically Billy grabs Paul Walker's nuts, and then vice versa, Paul Walker grabs Billy's nuts. And they're literally just standing there squeezing as hard as they can, and a big group goes around, and there's kids yelling like, yeah, kill him, like, oh my God, he's gonna die today, blah, blah. They're getting way too into it. And then, of course, these dumbfounded cops come in the background, and you have them, that's a testicular standoff virus scene. I'll roll the clip, but my God, it is insane.
Good move, man. Right here is one of them testicular standoffs. You're not squeezing much, Michael.
So then Paul Walker gets lucky enough to be invited over to Denise Richards' house.
Yes!
Kind of sneaking in, doing the little naughty things that high school kids do. And Billy shows up at the house, breaks in with a gang of like 10 people. The parents are just, oh my God, get out of my house. Like, it's obnoxious. And then basically Billy chases Paul Walker down and turns into a Bond villain, kidnaps him, and then instead of, maybe killing him or beating him up or doing whatever, you think maybe a crazy teenager would do, he takes him to a wildlife reservation and leaves him there to fend for himself against, like, panthers and lions. And of course, the lion attacks him and kind of mauls his stomach, and that makes him brain dead, I guess, or he's blacked out and goes to the hospital. And then even though Billy broke into a house with a gang of 10 people and kidnapped this kid and took him to a wildlife reservation and basically let him die, everybody should know this. He just randomly walks in the hospital room where Paul Walker's blacked out or not dead but dead, and has an altercation with Denise Richards' character and her friend. And I'll put that clip in here too. It's just weird. I mean, again, who wrote the script? I don't know. I'm not interested. It's just thank you, because it's amazing.
Don't you dare touch her or scratch your fucking eyes.
Leave me at you, little weasel.
So then you get the evil villain, and he's a mad scientist, grabs Paul Walker's body, And, you know, everybody's saying that, you know, he's brain dead or he's blacked out or whatever. Like, he's not waking up because apparently a lion bit his stomach a little bit. But they get him to the operating room where they're going to take his brain out. They literally saw, they cut into his head. And again, I'll roll the clip because it's amazing. But they literally cut into his head, doesn't wake up. Then they start the saw and bam, he just jumps up and, oh my God, where am I at? What's going on? And this lady just punches him in the face. She's done this multiple times. She literally just punches him in the face and that knocks him out. So she's literally done this like 3 or 4 times throughout the movie and it just works perfectly. So, who needs anesthesia when you got somebody to punch me in the face?
What's going on?
So we get further along in the story. We got Paul Walker's brain in a mechanical T-Rex, which makes no sense, but it also makes perfect sense. So don't get lost in this story because it's a very complex, awesome story. But Paul Walker, and you can even tell, you know, when they have the little feet of the T-Rex, you can tell it's literally just rubber with somebody's foot in it. But that's okay. It looks fantastic. It looks even better in 4K. Don't get me wrong. Vinegar Syndrome, thank you for putting this in 4K. But with that being said, if you thought a T-Rex, because of how short their arms were, could not make a collect phone call, you're wrong. So after that debacle and he gets out and he's running around, he wants to go fight the gang that ended up basically killing him or feeding him to a lion. So he goes to a party and all hell breaks loose. Paul Walker as a T-Rex, pretty damn effective. He kills a bunch of people that have wronged him at that party, and then later you see the cops show up, and I don't know why this was left in the movie. Maybe they were like one shot, one take, boom, we're good, we got it. But you can clearly see, again, I'll show the evidence, but you can clearly see one of the cops literally reach behind him and just start itching his ass. I mean, what? But okay, that makes this movie even better.
What's that to them?
So the first plan to get Paul Walker's body back is just to go, you know, to the graveyard while they're having the burial, grab the body after, you know, the ceremony and run, and boom, there you go. Have the mad scientist put his brain back. But his body has decayed so much in the matter of 2 days that they can't do that. So, oh no, let's go find a cold dead body in the morgue. And this leads up to a nice little montage of them just pulling dead bodies out and letting the T-Rex pick who he wants to be in. And, you know, you get all of these different races, you get male, you get female, and you can literally just see the T-Rex sitting in the truck going, nope, oh, I don't know, maybe somebody else. It's just a weird sequence, but yeah, it fits in this movie perfectly. So after that next crazy event, you get a awesome car chase. Don't mind the shaky cam. Don't mind, you know, sitting in the passenger seat with the camera just kind of moving all over the place, random cuts here and there. That's what makes this movie beautiful. So you get to the end of the movie. I hope this doesn't spoil anything. See the movie. You should definitely see the movie, but we're going to get into this. So it ends with a police shootout. Paul Walker, or T-Rex Walker, I don't know, whatever you want to call him. Let's get crazy. But he ends up biting the head off of the mad scientist who really screwed him over in the first place. And then the cops just light him up. Shotguns, handguns, anything you can think of, this dude's getting shot at. But mind you, it's a mechanical T-Rex, so he dies, I guess? And then we get the best ending and the only ending you would expect this movie to have. Paul Walker's brain sitting in a glass bowl, hooked up to a old school video camera. Somehow he can see through that video camera. Denise Richards comes in, gets him a beer, pours a beer on top of his head, because that's how brains work. You pour a beer on top of it and it can drink it and taste it. You know, that makes sense. Don't think about it too much. And then it ends with a Denise Richards striptease, and that's it. So, Tammy and the T-Rex, why haven't you seen it? It's perfection. Either way, pick this up, pick the Blu-ray up, watch this however you can. This movie is so bad it's good, but but it's so amazing. You'll have an awesome time with it. I love it. I love it. I had to get it on 4K. I'll talk about the picture quality. It's okay. The sound, it's alright. But either way, pick this movie up, watch it. Let me know if you've already seen it. Leave it down in the comment section below. Or if you're going to pick it up because of this, because it's an amazing movie. You need to see this firsthand. Either way, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, do all that fun stuff. This was just a fun little video. I love this movie, so I figured I would share it with everybody. And we'll see you guys in the next video.